Okay, so we're going to do the tongues for our tongue drum. So we've previously drawn our sides, drawn our ends, we've drawn our cutouts, and we've drawn our top. So we're up to doing the tongues. So there's a few new commands that we're going to try this time. So as I show you those, it could be worth pausing the video, trying it, and maybe going back a bit in the video and retrying it, etc. There's a few things that we need to be aware of. But to start off, we will simply get our tape measure tool, or T. Zoom that in a bit. From the edge of the top, click once, move it towards the middle. It should show green, which means we're moving along the green axis. That is correct. And we're going to type 20, press enter. That'll set our dashed line 20 from that edge. Let's do the same on all the edges. 20, 20, center, and 20. Press. All right, we're going to, so I'll deselect spacebar. We're going to use a rectangle now that touches the intersection of that dashed line and this dashed line, but it's only a thin one. It's only 4 millimeters wide. Now I'm going to talk about some stuff that we see down in this box down here. I'm not going to be able to point there because it'll mess up what I'm doing, but I'll talk about what happens there. So let's get our rectangle tool, and I'm going to click once at the intersection to start the rectangle. I'm going to move it up until I touch that dashed line up there. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to look down in that dimension box, and notice I've got, when I'm touching that line, I've got 310, comma, minus 25.7. That actually means it's a variable size, that minus. It doesn't mean it's a negative number. So the 310 doesn't change. Notice as I move my cursor along that dashed edge, 310 doesn't change. So we're not going to change that 310. So to type our size of our rectangle, because we want to keep the 310 the same, and it's in front of the comma, I'm actually just going to type comma 4. Press enter. And because I was touching that edge, it keeps that first dimension. So just quickly repeat that. I'll Control Z out of there. Touch once, or start, click once at the intersection, move up to this edge and look at the dimension. The one we don't want to change, we leave as it is. So we simply type comma 4, center. If it was the other way around, if your static dimension was on the back, you would go 4, comma. Achieves the same thing. All right, spacebar. All right, this rectangle that we just drew, we just want to select that rectangle. So you should be able to put your cursor inside the rectangle and double click. And that didn't work, so I'm just going to click over in the grey area and try again. Inside the area, double click. Still not working. Let's try changing my view a bit. There we go. So it only selects that rectangle. Now, if you never seem to get it by double clicking, the other thing you can do, you'll probably have to change your view to this. For this, is drag a box around only that little rectangle that you drew. So that's no good because it's selected something else. So we don't want that. Try again. That's it, only the rectangle. We're going to use the move tool now, which is over here, or M on the keyboard. Notice down here, pick 2 points to move. Control equals toggle copy. That's what we're going to want. So partway through this, we're going to press the control button. But first, we select this corner of our rectangle. So click once and move the cursor. It's moving the thing, but we want to toggle a copy. So just hit control once on the keyboard, and now it's a copy. And we're going to touch at the intersection of this one and click. We've just placed our our second rectangle. Now don't deselect that tool, don't change anything, don't touch anything. We can move our cursor, but what we're going to do down here is a little command. We're going to go divide, so that the, what's that, a /3, enter. And that divides the space that we moved into 3. So I'll quickly redo that. So select only the rectangle, move tool, grab the corner, click once, press the control once to make a copy, click again at the opposite corner. Now simply type divide 3. If I had to type divide 6, it would divide the space by 6. I'll put lots of them there. We don't want that. We want divide 3. All right, now we can deselect that tool. Let's rotate my view. What is this? No. I'm going to rotate my view. Eraser or E. Let's get rid of those dashed lines. We don't need those anymore. Let's remove them. All right, back to the rectangle tool. So R. Now we need to draw some rectangles that divide our tongues. You can look at your plan and estimate how far apart they go, but I think we could just visualize it. Basically, we need a set of, all the tongues should be slightly different lengths. So click once on an edge. Now this is similar to what happened before. Touch the opposite edge. Now have a look down in the dimension box. This time we've got our variable size first, comma 20.6. So I'm just simply going to type 4, comma, and press enter. And let's do that again. I won't go to the midpoint. Click once on the edge, hover to the next edge, have a look down there. Well, we don't want it to be, yes, our variable size is the first one, so it's 4, comma, enter. And once more, we do the same down here. Yep, and 4, comma. There we go, we've set the size of our tongues. I might stop that video here because this seems to crash if I let it run for too long. There we go. Make sure you click the save button. Next video. No, do you want to overwrite it with your, oh, yes I do, I want to overwrite it. Saving. Saved. All good, see you in the next video.